Hello everybody, my name is Bill and welcome back to yet another episode of my NCAA Football '07 Dynasty Mode series. We are now in week 13 and we have some bowl projections which I will go ahead and let us look through. And just so you know, I will plan on predicting every single bowl game. As you can see, the only team I have a problem with that's in a bowl game right now is Ball State. They're at 4-7, like how Boston College was last year here, and I just don't feel right for Ball State to be there when there are a couple other teams that could easily be the at-large team. Let me finish going through. As you can see, I see a few good matchups, a few matchups that could easily get out of hand real quick, you know. But like that, once the time comes, I'm gonna predict every single one of these. I don't know how many parts I'm going to break that down into, if I decide to even break that down into parts, but that's me, my decision, because it is my series. But anyways, to the BCS rankings, as we start off with our usual suspects: McNary Central number 1, West Virginia number 2, Colorado number 3, Penn State number 4, and Ohio State number 5. I think it's been like that ever since the polls first came out. Then we got Wisconsin number 6, number 7 Arkansas, number 8 Texas, number 9 Northern Illinois, number 10 Auburn, number 11 is Arizona State here, number 12 Oklahoma, 13th Florida State, 14th Florida, 15th is Minnesota, 17th is Oregon, 16th is Oregon, 17th is USC, 18th is Louisiana Tech, 19th is NC State, 20th is Iowa, 21st is Missouri, 22nd is Notre Dame, 23rd is Tennessee, 24th is Boise State, and then 25th is San Diego State when it comes to the BCS Bowls. Top 25, again, your usual suspects. Actually, I feel like been the same since for the past few weeks. McNary Central 1, 2 West Virginia, 3 Penn State, 4 Colorado, 5 is Ohio State, 6 is Wisconsin, 7 Arkansas, 8 Texas, 9th Northern Illinois. They only have one first place vote this time around, with Auburn getting the other one. 11th is Florida State, 12th is Oklahoma, 13th is Arizona State, 14th USC, 15th is Minnesota, 16th is Florida, 17th is Oregon, 18th is NC State, 19th is Louisiana Tech, 20th is Missouri, 21st is San Diego State, 22nd is Tennessee, 23rd Iowa, 24th is Boise State, and making an appearance back into the polls, I believe they're back in the polls, yeah, they're back in the polls, is Notre Dame. Media poll, number 1 is McNary Central, number 2 is West Virginia, number 3 is Colorado, 4 Penn State, 5 Wisconsin, 6 Ohio State, 7th Texas, 8th Northern Illinois with 3 first place votes, Arkansas is number 9, Auburn is still number 10 with 2 first place votes this time around, 11th is Florida State, 12th is Arizona State, 13th is Oklahoma, 14th is Florida, 15th is Minnesota, 16th is Oregon, 17th is USC, 18th is Louisiana Tech, 19th is North Carolina State, 20th is Iowa, 21st is Notre Dame, 22nd is Missouri, 23rd is Tennessee, 24th is Boise State, and 25th is Texas A&M. And now it's time for my bottom 10 of the week, with again, we got your normal usual suspects here, with number 1 being San Jose State in the bottom 10, and second is Kansas. As in number 3, we got Purdue. Number 4, we have Boston College. At number 5, we got Louisiana Lafayette. And the reason why I put Boston College here is, well, like I said, they're 2-10 this year, so no chance of them making a bowl game. So what's the point of what was the point of them being in the bowl game last year if they were gonna be about just as awful this year? Louisiana Lafayette, they've yet to get a conference win in one of the easiest conferences, to be honest. Number 6, we have Idaho. At number 7, we got Washington. I think I just might have passed them. Yeah, Washington. At number 8, only threw them at number 8 because they've only still played 9 games. They're about to play their 10th one. One this week, I believe, in Army. Number 9 is Indiana, and the last team is a team that I picked that really underperformed after last year, and that's Georgia Tech. Mainly because they were in the national championship game last year, and you go from national championship to 3-8. That just doesn't look good for you. Next game's against Washington State, so I wish them luck in their future endeavors for next season, because either they'll go in the end this season at a 4-8 record or a 3-9 record. Now, a lot of teams are having their season finales this week, so I decided instead of just doing 5 key games, I doubled it up with 10. And the first one we have on the card this week is number 9 Northern Illinois against Western Michigan. Northern Illinois has had possibly the best season of a non-Power 5 school that I have ever seen in this game. They are currently projected to face Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, which should be a great matchup considering they beat Alabama to open this impressive season. But Western Michigan looks to end this run and the run that they have as they look to be the best MAC team on the schedule to stop them, as they are on a 6-game winning streak, last losing to LeBron James and Akron back in Week 5. The Broncos are looking for the upset at home, while the Huskies want to show the nation why they are still somehow, some way, still better than Auburn in the rankings. I say Northern Illinois is going to pull off the win and head to the MAC championship in 2 weeks' time. Like I said, they've got a 12-game win streak, and sure, Western Michigan's defense may be better, but the defense for Northern Illinois is the second best in the nation, only behind McNairy Central, which I'm that coach of. As you can see, it's on top here, first in every single category, so you see why I never put myself in the key games. But on to the second key game between Texas A&M and Texas. Story here is this Lone Star Showdown has some big implications for the Big 12 championship. If Texas wins, they will represent the South against Colorado in 2 weeks' time, but if A&M wins, it'll be Oklahoma against Colorado because Texas beat Oklahoma. So if Texas wins, then Texas represents Colorado, which would be a rematch of Week 9, which I've labeled here already as well. But if Oklahoma wins, then they get to face off against Colorado, which I don't think they have this year. I'll go and double check on that real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I think this way would probably be better to get. It'll be easier to get to Colorado than it would be to Oklahoma. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Nope. Haven't faced off against each other yet, so that's only if Texas A&M wins. Johnny Manziel has put up a great year, 8-3, compared to the past few years where they've gone like 6-6, well 7-6, like 6-6, 7-5 in the regular season. This year they got a great year, but Matt Brown's looking to add another Big 12 championship trophy to his case. The Longhorns defense will be ready for an Aggies offense that's average at best. And I think Texas will win this game and get that Week 9 rematch back when the 5th ring curse was still going around. And speaking of Big 12 championships, that was the Big 12 championship from last season. As you can see, Nebraska has not been doing it all that well, as I will talk about later on. And now, here's a pretty good matchup I see, in my opinion, between number 19, Louisiana Tech, and number 24, Boise State. This week's about to get whacked, as we have a top 25 matchup against the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech and the Broncos of the Blue Field in Boise State. Both teams are having impressive seasons and are looking to improve it against one another. Louisiana Tech has one of the deadliest passing attacks in the nation, while Boise State has a tough passing defense. Hence, 19th in the nation, going against the 5th best passing defense, should be a good matchup, in my opinion. I wonder if this will most likely secure the WAC championship, while New Mexico State could still be in the mix, lurching behind. I say that Louisiana Tech will walk out the blue field with the win and secure an undefeated WAC season and also claim the WAC championship. Now this next game has been one of my little continuing stories throughout the past few weeks with the Big Ten championship. With this one being Michigan State and Penn State. Penn State can possibly claim a share of the Big Ten championship with a win, since they never played Wisconsin. I looked into that while doing this story, and yes, Penn State and Wisconsin never faced off. But Michigan State looks to end those plans. The Spartans have a defense that can challenge the Nittany Lions' offense, but Penn State has a defense that can beat any Big Ten team, well, except for one, and that was Ohio State. This should be a defensive showcase for these two, as I don't think either team will reach 30 points, and I think Penn State will be victorious here and possibly share the Big Ten championship. Like I say, possibly, that's if another key game that's going to be going down goes in favor of the upsetter. And now, this one I've been looking forward to doing when I saw this, between San Jose State and Idaho. This is San Jose State's best chance for a win. They've lost 17 games in a row. If they were to win one game, any game this year, it's this one, against another WAC opponent in Idaho, who's also doing horrible. These two teams, as you can see, combined for a total record of 1-20. Not the best of combined records for a matchup here. I've looked it up, and the record for the most consecutive losses in a row is held by Northwestern at 34. Which, by the way, Northwestern just beat Michigan in I think last week actually, and prevented Michigan from getting a possible chance at the Big Ten championship. Yep, as well, we'll be here. Well, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. Oh, but still, No, just a little bit of somewhat continuity here. The Spartans have Louisville next week, and that's easily going to be a loss for San Jose State. But the question is, will it be number 1 of a new potential streak, or will it be loss number 19? The key I see here for San Jose State is to attack through the air. They are going against the team. The Vandals have the absolute worst passing defense in the entire nation. I haven't even played against them. That should be their plan. That should be their strategy. Just attack them through the air and let the bombs fly. Call me crazy, call me stupid, call me whatever you want except late for a meal. No, but I'm picking the upset here with San Jose State come out on top and finally finally getting the win this season, and they can be like their second one in this Dynasty mode, to be honest. And here's that other key game I was talking about. The game. Michigan, Ohio State. Wisconsin and Penn State will both be watching this game very, very closely as Ohio State has a win over both of them. Ohio State lost to Minnesota, but Minnesota's out of the running for the Big Ten championship. Yep, and if the Buckeyes win, they become sole champions of the Big Ten. Michigan has other plans, though, as they want to beat their biggest rival. The Wolverines are on a 2-game skid, which, like I said, included that upset loss to Northwestern a couple weeks ago. And as you saw in that little article, they lost to Penn State. But they will be highly motivated to win this one. Buckeyes are looking to beat Team Up North, as they like to call them, as they have a team that could easily dominate this game if allowed. Overall wise, could be a close one. One stat wise, yeah, it's not the best, but Michigan went up against me, so their stats don't look all that good. But I do say that Ohio State will win and claim the Big Ten championship for themselves. Now, these next two key games have been kind of a running story from last week between Alabama and LSU, because they both are going up against another key rival here. Let's start off with LSU and number 7 Arkansas. LSU is coming off a big win over one rival in Alabama, and they have momentum for this game against Arkansas. The Razorbacks have only one loss and was to the other Tigers team of the SEC in Auburn, so they need to win this one to keep a good bowl game on their schedule. The Tigers want to upset Arkansas and improve their bowl projection, currently projected to play Nebraska in the Meineke Car Care Bowl, as they would play a Nebraska team that hasn't really done as good as last year when they went 12-2. Arkansas, meanwhile, is slated to play Virginia in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, which would be an interesting game considering Virginia is doing their best so far this year. I do think Arkansas will pull off the win and continue on to prepare for their bowl game against, right now, Virginia, but it could easily change in the few weeks we have left. Now, on to the Iron Bowl. One of college football's best rivalries gets another chapter this week. This time, Auburn here is the dominant team over Alabama, which is very rare, as we all know. And Alabama is currently projected to play Iowa in the Outback Bowl, as Auburn is projected to play Penn State in the Sugar Bowl, which that should be an interesting matchup right there, considering that would be a good defensive matchup between the two teams. And Auburn is looking to remain one of 4 undefeated teams left. Yes, we still have 4 undefeated teams left at this point of the year. Here there's me, which I know I'm not going to lose because of the way my sliders are. West Virginia, which I'm slated to play them in the national championship game. Northern Illinois, and Auburn. Alabama is looking to end that, but sadly I don't think that's going to be happening. Here, I think Auburn will win. And will face Florida in 2 weeks' time for the SEC championship game. Now, this next one, when I was just going through trying to find the key games for me to be able to do, and these next two are about the Pac-10 championship. As you can see, we now have California against number 14 USC. As the story for this one, the Pac-10 just got interesting with USC's win last week over Oregon, and they are now in contention to win the Pac-10. They just have to hope to win out and hope Arizona State loses a game. And they're going against the Golden Bears, and on paper, like overall wise, and mostly stat wise, even with USC going against me earlier in the year, here should be a no contest, essentially. But The only thing California is good at is their passing attack. But again, and they're going against the below average passing defense. But then again, like I said, they went up against me, so yeah. I don't think Cal will be able to hold up offensively or defensively, and USC is going to win and hopefully become one step closer to claiming the Pac-10 championship that many predicted for them to win at the beginning of the year. And the last key game is between UCLA and Arizona State. The Bruins have two chances here to help determine the Pac-10 champion, because this week they go against Arizona State. Next week is USC. Now, if they beat the Sun Devils, USC can claim the Pac-10 championship. Yep. But I don't think Arizona State's gonna give it up without a fight. Because as you can see, third best in points per game, sixth best offense, 10th best defense, goes against a team that's offensively alright, defensively average at best, I'd like to say. Hey, they will look to keep their momentum going this year because they have won 5 straight games. And I do think Arizona State will beat UCLA and let the Battle of LA next week determine their fate in the Pac-10, in which not only will we have the battle for the victory bell, also the battle for LA, even though it says Pasadena, I think it's like some sort of suburban LA, something like that. We also have the big game between Arizona State and Arizona that could easily determine who wins the Pac-10. But yeah, as you can see, not many games for next week. I can probably go ahead and tell you what I'm planning on having being my key games for next week. It's probably going to be Army-Navy, just because of it being Army-Navy. Yeah. USC and UCLA and Arizona State. So those look like to be my only key games for next week, as I will only shorten it down to, like I said, shorten it down because of the fact of a lot of teams having their season finales being this week. And as of right now for the conference championships, it looks like for the ACC championship game, we got Florida State against Virginia. Wow, Virginia's undefeated in the conference? Going up against Miami next. That looked like a good game. Could have done that one as well now that I think about it. Should have done some more key games. But beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, Ohio State, if they win, they go up above Wisconsin. Big 12 looks like it can easily be Colorado against Oklahoma. Actually, I think last year's matchup was between between Nebraska and Oklahoma. My bad. Yeah, West Virginia has the Big East basically on lockdown. Conference USA championship looks like it's going to be UCF against Tulane. As you can see, Tulane just turned it on when they got into conference play. As you can see, Independents have no champion. In the MAC, looks like it's going to be Bowling Green right now against Northern Illinois. But if Western Michigan wins, they get to take Northern Illinois' place in the MAC championship. Mountain West looks like San Diego State's going to just secure that one. That one nice and easy. Pac-10, as just told. It's now down between Arizona State and USC. Arizona State has the tiebreaker though because of their head-to-head victory over USC. And the SEC is going to come down between Florida and Auburn because Auburn has the head-to-head victory over Arkansas, as explained. And doesn't matter whether Tennessee wins or loses against Vanderbilt. They lost to Florida earlier in the year. So Florida's going to be representing the East. So right now we have two championship games that I know that are determined. Auburn and Florida for the SEC. And Florida State and Virginia for the ACC. Because if Texas, like we said, Texas beats A&M, they go on to the Big 12. Well, no, we got 3. UCF and Tulane set in stone as well. Sunbelt, Florida Atlantic, looks like it's gonna just win. Like I said, Sunbelt's the easiest conference by the looks of it. And Louisiana Lafayette is 0-6. And in the WAC, yeah, Louisiana Tech's probably gonna. Yeah, if Boise, who did Boise State lose to? I know this bit of the video is just me rambling on trying to find who they lost to. Oh, they lost to New Mexico State. Okay. Okay, so this matchup would have been a lot more interesting if they had beaten. But yeah, so I think Louisiana Tech might still have the WAC championship even if they lose to Boise State because they beat New Mexico State. But anyways, that's enough from me and the rambling on in this video. I might do a lot more rambling next time. But until then, I will see you all next time.